And welcome back to The Kerrnel Does The Raven, Legacy of a Master Thief. And in the last episode, we had...
I have to talk to the young fellow right away. If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first. He won't let me talk to our young friend.
To talk to our young friend. And we have to get rid of Constable Oliver, and I'm not sure how quite to do that. He's obviously sleeping. And I don't see anything out here that we can do anything with. We've already looked at the water. So I guess we gotta go back to the side deck.
He won't let me talk to our young friend. He respects Legrand far too much to disobey his orders. If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first.
Okay. So go back to the side deck and figure out what we can do here. Actually, no, don't have anything on my inventory. I guess we can go upstairs. Don't think I've been up there before. Oh yeah, we have been up here.
We were here yesterday when we heard the shot, and it was also here where Legrand caught our stowaway.
See? Told you we were here. Okay, so there's a door. Oh.
A boat like this would also make a good hideout for a stowaway. Were the tarpaulins arranged like that on purpose so that no one could put them back in order once they get in? You can tell at a glance that everything is ship-shape with this boat.
So this fan is not working.
This isn't a panoramic deck for visitors. There are pipes, steel cables, chains up here. You can smell the smoke from the funnel. I have no idea how the ship works, and I really don't care, as long as it stays afloat.
I hear that.
The grate must be part of the ship's ventilation system. Nothing out of the ordinary. The grate shouldn't be so easy to open. Did the stowaway open it and we caught him in the act? No. The pipe is too narrow. He wouldn't fit in there. I guess the cover has been defective for a while. I could inform the captain that the grid has to be repaired, but if I start reporting all the problems on the ship, I'd have to shelve my murder investigation.
Well, that makes you feel nice and safe. Alright. Check the captain's cabin.
The ship's bridge. 2 men. One of them navigating. I get the impression that the officers keep things running. It seems like the captain concentrates on the passengers and the bar. I better let the men do their work. If one of them had detected something yesterday, he'd already have informed Legrand or the captain.
So nothing up here to do. At least not right now. Let's go back downstairs. And I guess we'll have to go back to... Well, I don't think we've gone in here yet. So let's go into the ship. We've already been on the after deck, so there's not much... Unless I missed something, which is entirely possible. Oh, there's a downstairs. Oh, okay, this is new. So there's a hallway and an alarm. Pinboard. Medical center. Alright, let's start over here.
An alarm like this one was set off yesterday. This one hasn't been set off. The security seal is intact. I'm not paying for this trip, and that's a fair price for my cabin. It's rather plain, shall we say.
Let's check out the pinboard first.
An evacuation plan? And some tips from the doctor for avoiding seasickness, sunburn, and the like. And here, a schedule of activities. A drink with the captain, a shuffleboard competition on the forecastle. That's about it. A real barrel of fun.
I'm sure the captain doesn't mind.
That is Legrand's cabin.
Come in. Ah, Zellner. Are you ready?
Good morning, Inspector Legrand. My head is pounding, but I think I'm okay.
Chloral hydrate.
Hmm?
That's why you have a headache. I found traces of it in your champagne glass.
And this chloral hydrate?
Is a tranquilizer. Can be dissolved in alcohol. The effect begins in minutes and lasts for hours. Who gave you the glass of champagne?
The captain. I think it was the captain.
I believe it was Captain de Conti.
If believing were enough for us, we'd have become priests, Constable. Be a policeman and find out for sure.
Damn.
Understood.
You've been told.
What have you found out so far?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We heard the shot. The murderer quickly fled the cabin and dropped the murder weapon over the railing later. A simple story so far.
But why was her cabin door locked?
Exactly. If the murderer wanted to make it seem like a suicide, he'd have shot her in the head and left the gun at the crime scene.
And if it was murder, why did he go to all the trouble of locking the door from inside? And how did he manage that anyway?
Especially since we arrived just a few seconds later and didn't see anyone near the cabin.
Something doesn't make sense here.
No, it doesn't, and it's driving me crazy.
Did you find the murder weapon?
On the gangway on the side of the ship. I suspect the murderer tried to drop it into the sea. He would have stood close to the railing to let it fall unseen.
And since he doesn't know the ship, he had bad luck and dropped it right onto the gangway.
Indeed. And do you find that probable?
No.
Not a bit.
Neither do I.
What kind of a gun is it?
A pistol, a Luger .08.
Antique.
Manufactured 1,000,000 times during and after the First World War. Austrian model. The owner is David Kreutzer, the violinist. We found him tonight totally drunk on the bow of the ship. He confirmed that it's his gun, but he claims that it was stolen from him.
Fingerprints?
Nothing. But it's worth mentioning that the clip was missing 2 bullets.
And it's definitely the murder weapon.
The ballistic tests are incomplete. Actually, I've been waiting far too long for the bullet recovered from the corpse. Pay the good doctor a visit, Zellner, and see that he does his job.
Interesting. So the violinist... I don't know how anybody could steal anything off of that guy, unless they did it by force, because he's got everything, I think, stuck in that violin case that he's always got with him. I wonder if he knew anything about the purse.
Do you believe the violinist?
He'll be the first person I question. He claims he can't remember anything from the last few hours. Says he drank a bottle of schnapps.
He was on the train and he doesn't have an alibi. His drunkenness could be a smokescreen.
He fits the profile. He travels a lot, has access to high society. Could be interesting.
You think that the jewel thief is the murderer?
Our friend would have needed another key to open the safe and steal the second eye, the one the Baroness was carrying. At least, that's what we implied.
What do you mean?
The Baroness was famous for her forgetfulness. I convinced her to give me the third key. It seemed safer for the eye.
The thief searches the Baroness's cabin looking for the third key.
She returns from the saloon earlier than expected.
Surprises him, and he can't allow her to identify him.
He imprisons her until the coast is clear, and then shoots her.
And thus, the thief becomes a murderer.
But still doesn't have all the keys.
Maybe I'm missing something. Why would you do that to somebody? That didn't make any sense to me.
Are you sure that there's no bomb inside this time?
Professor Lucien locked it in front of an audience, and it will be opened for the first time in Cairo.
Let's hope so.
It would take hours to crack it, and you'd need heavy machinery.
Or the keys.
Or the 3 keys, that's right.
Do you really think that the Raven is behind all this?
He wrote the letter that was on the safe in the train. Without the letter, we wouldn't have opened the safe and the bomb wouldn't have exploded.
But it doesn't seem like him, does it? The Raven was famous in part because he never hurt anyone, much less killed anyone, during a burglary.
It's his handwriting, and he called me Nico. No one else does that. I chased that man across Europe for years. It is him. It has to be him.
But the evidence...
Enough.
I'll be on my way. I want to find out who gave me the drugged champagne.
Good idea. And get the bullet from Dr. Gebhardt.
Of course. Inspector Legrand? Are you okay? Maybe you should take a break.
I can sleep once I've caught the Raven. Goodbye, Constable.
It might be a while.
Be seeing you. Legrand is risking not just his career, but his health as well on his hunt for the Raven. He's working like a demon. Maybe that's why he caught the Raven and no one else.
Well, if you recall, you were also assaulted. Albeit with a glass of champagne.
Come in.
Oh, damn.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
And there's the next one.
Excuse me?
You want something else from me, don't you?
I'm afraid I do.
What a first day at work. Well...
Okay, is it just me, or when you go onto a boat or a ship and you go into the doctor's office, you're not expecting to be going into a surgery room? I mean, come on, man. This is freaky. I go from a friggin' lobby and I come in here and it's like in the middle of surgery. It's crazy. It should be nice and welcoming and homey and, you know, why are you sick? Maybe you bumped your knee or something. Not an operating table. Good lord. This is freaking me out, man. I don't really want to analyze the body. Hopefully he's just asking him about it. Actually, you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. We came here for the bullet.
Have you already removed the bullet?
Did Legrand send you? What is that Frenchman's problem? I already told you. I will get in touch as soon as I have it. That is also what I told the constable, who he kept sending all night long, once I finally got rid of Legrand himself.
Did he look over your shoulder?
He probably wanted to take the scalpel from my hand and hack away himself. But this is my surgery, and I will not let amateurs interfere with my work.
That's understandable. How much longer will it take?
I have just finished. Send my regards to His Majesty.
Thanks.
Okay, here's what I'm noticing. He just finished. His gloves are white. And he didn't take them off when he handed that to the doctor. I wonder if maybe he's a raven. Leaving no fingerprints behind. No, that's not right. That's kind of gross, though. He's wearing latex gloves and hands something from his pocket to the doctor, and he just or to the constable, and he just takes it. That's who knows what's on those gloves? Apparently not blood, but it's still kind of weird. And how long does it take to actually get a bullet out of a corpse? I mean, come on. It's not surgery. Well, it is probably a little more delicate than I'm putting it. But still, it's not like you have to worry about the person being alive, because they're not. Alright, let's ask about the body.
What's the result of your examination of the victim?
She is dead.
I didn't make you work all night long, Dr. Gebhardt.
She was shot. Point-blank shot. Probably with a pistol. It seems like she was lying in bed. The shot struck her hard. She died immediately.
One shot?
More were unnecessary. And we only heard one shot, no?
And there's just one entrance wound.
Just one.
Yeah, check your attitude, buddy.
I am told that I was drugged.
That's how it seems.
What can you tell me about it?
Me? Why should that be my business?
Haven't you analyzed the glass?
No, I haven't. The inspector said he's the better chemist. I let him do it. That way I could at least concentrate on the body.
Do you think the Baroness might have been drugged? She was very tired and unsteady when Legrand and I saw her.
Yeah, I heard about that. I must have just missed her in the saloon. And without having seen her myself, it is hard to make a diagnosis.
Of course. Can you say something about her general health?
She was quite overweight, and the butler said that she suffered from diabetes. Despite that, she hadn't visited a doctor for several years.
Doesn't sound good.
Happens more frequently than you might suppose. Some people are scared of doctors and pay with an early death. It is possible that the Baroness wouldn't have lived much longer anyway.
Do you know whose glass I drank from?
What do you mean?
Captain de Conti handed me a glass of champagne. But where did he get it?
I don't know. Did you ask him?
I'm just asking because you were also in the saloon when the champagne was served.
Yes, but I only entered the saloon a few seconds before you did. I didn't manage to get a drink myself.
Which, in retrospect, is lucky.
Ah, you're right about that.
I think that's it for now.
No. That is it for now, then, and later. I'm going to lie down for a few hours. Can you tell that to your boss?
But... Could I at least have the key?
Absolutely not.
But if we have to examine the victim again...
Then the esteemed inspector knows where to find me. In my cabin. In bed. Good night, Constable Zellner.
Huh. Well, can't fault him for being tired. But, look... excuse me. Oh my. Zellner actually brings up an interesting point about the glass. So the captain gave it to him, but maybe it was meant for somebody else. And I do remember Gebhardt being right next to him when he gave him that. So that is an interesting observation. Now I can examine the model.
A model of the Lydia before it was rebuilt. It used to be a freighter. The wide hallways, the cabins, and the saloon were added later.
So I guess there's another cabin over here I can go to.
Come in. Constable?
Here you go.
About the bullet. Here it is.
Excellent. Give it to me. As I suspected, a 7.65 Parabellum Luger.
Don't you want to examine it in more detail?
When I have time. For now, though, we can assume that we have the murder weapon. There can't be too many antique Luger 08 pistols on board.
May I take a look at the Baroness's cabin?
We already searched it thoroughly.
Sure. But what about now, by daylight?
Yes, fine, it can't hurt. Here, take this with you.
Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything important.
But only then, please. I'm very busy.
Of course. About the tranquilizer.
Do you know how you wound up with the glass?
Not yet.
Then you should stop wasting my time and get back to work.
Wow.
About the tranquilizer.
Do you know how you wound...
Not yet.
Then you should stop wasting my time and get back to work.
I'll be in touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Man, I got a frog in my throat today. Holy smokes. Maybe I should stop drinking coffee before I do these. Alright, let's check out the cabin.
No, I've slept enough.
Alright, very well then.
Neither Dr. Gebhardt nor Constable Oliver can keep up with Legrand's pace. But in contrast to good old Robert, the doctor doesn't let himself get roped in for the long haul. I wonder what would happen if Legrand dragged him out of bed for another investigation.
That's devious.
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused.
No, probably not. I wouldn't either.
Dr. Gebhardt locked something.
Alright, so nothing else down here, I don't think. So we have a sachet. And I believe that's got the bullet in it, so we need to go...
This is the first murder scene I've ever set foot in.
And the tape's upside down. That's not a lot of blood for a bullet. Alright, what do we got here? Probably a safe behind that painting.
Sunflowers. By Van Gogh, I presume. He liked to paint that sort of thing. Can't be an original. They cost thousands of francs. The most unportable portmanteau I've ever seen.
What does that mean?
A portable bar is more like it. Must be hard work transporting this big, heavy thing halfway around the globe. And the Baroness was lucky that the other freight cars were only lightly damaged by the explosion. An impressive piece, but I don't think it'll get me anywhere with the murder investigations. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point. The seal is broken. But there's no way of telling whether it happened yesterday or 5 years ago. There should be a ventilation shaft behind the hatch. Usually a good way to break in and out undetected. But we're on a ship. The ventilation shafts are very small here.
If you're small enough, you can get in there.
I can't say why, and it seems impossible. But something tells me that the murderer entered and left the cabin through the door. The only question is how. The mannequin surely came with the cabin. A mannequin for the Baroness's clothes would have a more generous figure. A tape recorder. Must go with the built-in speakers. Probably part of the cabin's furnishings. The tape recorder is older than the hills, but it was once very expensive. Top of the range. And it doesn't come cheap. Strange. There's only one reel. And it's the wrong one. No. No sign of the original reel.
Red herring, perhaps, but I'm intrigued.
A reel made by Zeibling. I know the brand. Zeibling's tapes can be overwritten many times without losing quality. They're used in offices so that executives can record messages for the secretaries on the same tape over and over again. But they're not good for much else. They're robust, but they don't offer much in terms of sound quality.
I wonder if there was a recording made and it was the butler that took the other tape. Interesting. Guess there's only just the bed left.
There's still blood on the mattress. The sheet and the blanket have already been removed. To analyze them, I suppose.
That would explain why there's not a lot of blood there.
Nothing. The blood spot is the only sign that someone committed a crime in here. Somehow... That's odd. The blood is so red. Shouldn't it gradually darken in the air? Turn brown?
Interesting.
The unusual color of the blood could be something that Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt missed last night. All cats are gray in the dark, as the saying goes. I should take a sample.
Maybe she had so much alcohol in her blood.
The unusual color of the blood. All cats.
You take a sample. I don't know how you take a sample. Alright. Nothing else left in the room, so we'll go back out into the hallway, and I think that will be the end of this episode. So we got some things to do in the next episode. Oh, such as talking to the butler. Alright, until next episode, please do take care, and if you do leave a comment, please try not to leave any spoilers.